President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, made ultimatum to Russia and to Vladimir Putin. Let's discuss this article in details. I'm not looking to hurt Russia. I love Russian people and always had a very good relationship with President Putin, and this despite the radical left's Russia, and many other things. We must never forget that Russia helped us win the Second World War, losing almost 60 million lives in the process. All of that being said, I'm going to do Russia, whose economy is failing, and President Putin a very big favor. Settle now and stop this ridiculous war. It's only going to get worse. If we don't make a deal, and soon, I have no other choice but to put high levels of taxes, tariffs and sanctions on anything being sold by Russia to the United States and various other participating countries.
I have to speak to President Putin. We're going to have to find out. He can't be thrilled. He's not doing so well. I mean, he's grinding it out, but most people thought that war would have been over in about 1 week. Zelensky wants to make a deal. I don't know if Putin does. He might not. I don't know. He should make a deal. I think he's destroying Russia by not making a deal.
US President Donald Trump has once again stirred the pot in international politics. This time, with an ultimatum directed straight at Russian President Vladimir Putin. Trump's bold move demands that Russia cease its advances in Ukraine, specifically around Velyka Novosilka, or face severe economic penalties. But what exactly is the nature of this ultimatum? Trump's statement is clear: end the conflict quickly or brace for economic repercussions. Russia, however, has responded with its usual cold shoulder. Dmitry Peskov, the Kremlin spokesperson, essentially shrugged off Trump's words, stating there's nothing new in his threats. Meanwhile, the situation in Ukraine continues to escalate, with reports of Ukrainian special forces taking out North Korean soldiers fighting alongside Russian troops. So, what does this mean for US-Russia relations? Well, it's complicated. On the one hand, Russia is dealing with soaring inflation and increasing calls for economic intervention. On the other, the sighting of a Russian spy ship in British waters has only worsened tensions. The European Union, feeling the heat from Trump's claims of insufficient support for Ukraine, has highlighted its substantial financial aid, which exceeds $134 billion. Yet amidst this chaos, Russia insists on its willingness to engage in dialogue with the United States. But they're still waiting for any new initiatives from the US side. The Kremlin's response underscores the complexities in finding a peaceful resolution to the ongoing conflict. Now let's talk about the strategic implications of Russian advances in Velyka Novosilka. This area is critical for both military and geopolitical reasons. If Russia solidifies its control, it could change the dynamics on the ground significantly, making it harder for Ukraine to reclaim its territories. The international community's reaction to Trump's ultimatum has been mixed. While some nations support his calls for a swift resolution, others are wary of escalating tensions further. Experts argue that Putin has shown a blatant disregard for conventional logic. His actions have turned Russia into a global pariah, and appealing to his sense of reason may be futile. Some believe that the only way to end the conflict is through Ukraine's military victory. This perspective highlights that Putin will only respond to strength, making negotiations appear futile under the current circumstances. Therefore, the focus should shift to providing Ukraine with the necessary resources to secure a decisive victory. And what about Africa? The ripple effects of this conflict are felt worldwide, including in African nations. The economic sanctions and disruptions in global trade can have significant impacts on African economies, which rely on both Russian and Ukrainian exports. So, what are the potential outcomes if Putin ignores Trump's ultimatum? If Russia continues its advances, we could see a further escalation of economic sanctions, increased military support for Ukraine, and perhaps even more strained relations between the US and Russia. In a nutshell, Trump's ultimatum has added another layer of complexity to an already intricate situation. While it's clear that both the US and international community yearn for peace, the path to achieving it remains uncertain. This is Africa Social Intellect, bringing you the latest updates on global affairs.